It's outrageous to listen to some people talking. Sometimes I have my ears that turn to cauliflower leaves. This capsule has its aim to provide you with certain references on certain expressions commonly used by analyzing them in order to better understand the thought mechanism and at the same time realize that it is possible that you may have an expression fetish in your vocabulary. By expression fetish, it means one you use repeatedly without thinking, and that one that has no relation to the situation.
No problem.
This expression is very often used. We use it for all and everything. It's like a reflex, a habit. Let's come back to the law of assertions, which says to avoid using negative expressions like no more or not, none, never, without, less. When saying there's no problem, the universe records that there is a problem, and since energy is cumulative, the universe adds on the energy of the problem. And when there is a sufficient quantity of energy for an action, it turns on you, whack! Once again, you find yourself in a negative or trying situation. An impressive number of negative situations could have been avoided in your life if only you had known this. Now be careful and listen to yourself talking.
It's not easy.
I often hear this sort of comment. In saying it's not easy, you are giving an order to the universe to make the situation in which you find yourself more difficult. I must remind you that the universe doesn't think, doesn't reflect, nor analyze. Personally, I often hear this phrase since it is the way that people express themselves when talking about thought management. By eliminating the word not from the phrase, the word easy remains, whatever, a negative connotation, because it had negative vibrations at the beginning. On top of that, you order the universe to make your task more difficult.
But it is complicated.
This is in the same sense of idea. You are ordering energy to make the situation more complicated. I also hear, it's hard. How can you leave peacefully when your subconscious continually records such severe instructions? Whether it be for personal reasons, for one's studies, for work, or even an emotional level, it would be so much simpler to think it's easy, and to have a replacement phrase such as, okay, let's go, it's improving, and even better, that's great.
That kills me.
In class, when I cited this example, a man burst out laughing. I said to him, I think you know this one well. He started laughing again. I asked him how he felt after a day's work. He admitted that he was always tired and worn out, yet he wasn't even 40. If he continued to organize his life in that way, he will die. He will die young, on top of being worn out at the end of each day. Without knowing, he was conditioned to always being tired.
It wears me out.
A woman once cited this phrase to me concerning a problem in her domestic relationship. I asked if she used it frequently, and she replied probably. I told her that it was probably an expression fetish, often unconsciously repeated. She asked me how could I know that. In reply I said to her, Madam, in my opinion you are overweight, and you have tried all sorts of diets, and yet you do not lose weight. She asked me why. The universe records perfectly your thoughts and carries them out to the letter. When you say, this is boring me, concerning a disagreement in a discussion or at work after a deception, or concerning the accomplishment of a task, whichever you may counteract the energy, and it comes back to you to bore you. Today's exercise. Listen to others talking and make whatever recommendation that you think pertinent. Have a marvelous day. Ciao.